no social distancing, but you can see that people are allowed inside right now. And I can tell you that the Secret Service, if you take a look right there, you can see all the Secret Service. They are wearing masks, they are wearing gloves. However, the crowd over here, you see very few with the mask on right now. And the big question today will be, will our leaders, the president, the governor, lead by example? We know the president arrived without a mask to the Air Force Base. We have been out here. Again, you can see what we're seeing right now. Now, hundreds of people called on Governor Ducey to request the president to postpone his visit to Arizona until there is a let-up in COVID-19 cases. That didn't happen. So medical professionals hoped for the next best thing. The president and the governor wearing a mask to enforce the importance of limiting the spread of COVID-19.
Action speaks louder than words. What we need is, I would implore President Trump to please wear a mask, and Governor Ducey and all the leaders who are out there at this roundtable discussion about the border, because I really believe that by action, he will show people what they need to do to protect themselves.
And Justin, you were talking about Mayor Gallego. She also has said that they will be enforcing wearing a mask. However, that does not mean a citation. That means that they will be doing education. We'll stay out here, continue to see what to expect, if more people will start coming with a mask, and we'll wait to see what the governor and the president are doing. We're live in Phoenix. Nicole Grigg, ABC 15, Arizona.
Two major events tonight in campaign 2020. President Trump holding another massive rally in a packed auditorium with few masks and almost no social distancing.
And the other online, a Joe Biden virtual fundraiser featuring former President Barack Obama. KCAL 9's Tom Waite shows us both very different campaign events.
President Trump was in Arizona today for a second campaign rally in less than a week. After last weekend's embarrassing turnout, the church that hosted the event was packed. The organizers, Students for Trump, and it appeared that few people were wearing masks or distancing.
Everyone in this room is bound together by a shared set of moral principles and enduring truths. We believe the United States of America is the greatest and most righteous nation that has ever existed. We're going to keep it that way.
Mr. Trump began his speech on an optimistic note, but it was not long before he once again used racist language to talk about the coronavirus. The audience cheered him on.
It's got all different names. Wuhan. Wuhan was catching on. Coronavirus, right? Kung flu, yeah. Kung flu.
Arizona is one of the most active hotspots for COVID-19 in the country. The number of average daily cases has increased fivefold since the beginning of June. But the president dismissed the risk, even as 8 staffers tested positive after Saturday's rally. Tonight, CBS News correspondent Ben Tracy posted this photo of the rally, saying there is no social distancing and hardly anyone is wearing a mask. Mr. Trump played down the risk.
That event was going on inside. Tensions started escalating outside. Groups of protesters showing up to the church speaking out against the president's visit. Police in riot gear eventually declaring an unlawful assembly. ABC 15's Nicole Valdez following these protests in real time. She joins us tonight with more.
Well, you would have seen protesters in Phoenix police squaring off right here around 4 this afternoon. We saw the riot gear come out when those protesters grew and got more vocal and started marching the streets. But the day didn't start that way.
We are a truly divided country at this point. I don't think we've been this divided since the Civil War, and that scares me.
It started hours before President Donald Trump touched down in the valley. Men and women braving the heat in protest of the presidential visit.
I wish he was in the office doing his job instead of out campaigning ever since he got elected, but apparently he has a fragile ego and needs to constantly campaign even once he's in office.
Some focused on the risk of the COVID-19 spread as our state sees another record day of cases faces.
Everyone's talking about the second wave, but we're not done with our first wave.
Among the sea of signs, some calling the campaign event a super spreader event, others aiming right for the president.
The majority, however, believe that we need rational, sane leadership in this country that we don't currently have.
But it didn't take long for some to come face to face with Trump's supporters.
I think the election in November will be a landslide. I think there's such a pent-up silent majority right now.
The tide shifted, though, when a larger group began to march the streets. Then things got heated.
We're just saying what we feel is right, freedom of speech, and they just come in and they spray us.
They straight up shot tear gas at us. That's all it was. We had no problems or anything. They told us to leave and they just shot tear gas at us.
The free speech exhibition, several of the demonstrators moved outside of that protected area and began to take over the roadway that was designated for the presidential's motorcade exit. Officers began to form a line to prevent them from taking over the president's path, and as a result of that, one demonstrator struck and hit one of our police officers with his fist, and another officer was also assaulted. Flashbangs, which are just noise, as well as pepper balls that were directed into the ground. We also deployed a little bit of pepper spray. No gas and no projectiles were deployed.
Now, even though Phoenix police say 2 of their officers were hit, they have not made any arrests yet, but we're told those officers were wearing body cameras, so that could change. In North Phoenix tonight, Nicole Valdez, ABC 15, Arizona.